Okay, welcome. We're going to look at a little bit more on the nth term now, for another 5 mathstastic minutes. Basically, with the topic of sequences, there are actually some other types of questions that the examiners might ask you relating to sequences themselves. Now, one of the things that our students often get caught out with is when faced with questions like this: 21, 17, 13, 9. Now, these are the first four terms of an arithmetic sequence, and again we're asked to find n expression for the nth term of this sequence. But the thing about this one is that this time we are decreasing. So we are going -4, we are going -4, we're going -4, but the same rules applies. Because we're subtracting 4 now, we put -4 in front of n, and we think about, right, what would we do to find our zero term? Well, we'd actually add 4. That would give us 25 here, so our answer would be -4n plus 25. So exactly the same rules apply, but you can have sequences that have a minus number in front of the n and then adding on a positive number. The trick is to think about the rules. What are the rules? Always find the difference and put that number in front of n, and then think about what you would need to add or subtract to get the zero term. So that's just one type of additional question you might be asked on sequences. Another one is one like this, where again you would write down the next number in this sequence. Now this one is a fairly straightforward first part of the question. 2 plus 3 gives us 5, plus 3 gives us 8, plus 3 gives us 11, plus 3 gives us 14. So the next term in the sequence is going to be plus 3, which is going to be 17. So we put our answer on the answer line. Explain how you got your answer. Well, I'm just adding 3 every time. Part B, though, we're asked to work out what the 8th term in the sequence would be. Well, we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So to find the 7th term would be 20. To find the 8th term would be 23. So it's easy to do when it's a low number, so the 8th term is 23. But what if they asked us to work out the 100th term? Clearly we wouldn't want to spend our time writing out this 100 different numbers. So what we would do is we would use the rule and we would input 100 as our n number. So in this particular rule here, we would have the difference is 3, so it would be 3n. Our zero term, so take away 3 from 2, would be -1. So that is the rule, the expression that we can use for working out the nth term. Now if we are asked for the 100th term, all we do is we replace n with 100. So we will do 3 times n. 3 times 100 is 300, minus 1 equals 299. Now if you want to check that yourself, go ahead, but I can guarantee you that's the right answer. Again, for example, if we were asked for the 50th term, pen's gone a bit funny there, then we would replace n with 50. 3 times 50 is 150, minus 1 is 149. So if we were ever asked for a really large nth term, we just replace n with that number, put it into the formula, and you will get your answer. The last type of question is one here. I'm going to be nice and quick on that one. They might ask us, for example, to again write down an expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. I'll let you do that one yourself if you press pause. Nice and simple to do. Again, +4 every time, +4, so we would have 4n. What do we do here? Take 4 away, that will give us -1, so we end up with 4n minus 1. Adil says 319 is a term in the sequence. Is Adil correct? You must justify your answer. Now the way to do this, nice and simple, is every time write down the number that they have given you, 319, and put that equal to the expression. So equals 4n minus 1. Because if that number is in the sequence, then we will be able to solve this equation, and the n that we are left with will be a whole number. So how do we solve this equation? Well, we've got 3 and 19 equals 4n minus 1. We would first of all add 1 to both sides, so that would give us 320 equals 4n. How do I go down from 4 lots of n to 1 lot of n? I would divide by 4. So on this side I would have 4n divided by n is n. 320 divided by 4, well, I just think, right, what's 32 divided by 4? 32 divided by 4 is 8, so 320 divided by 4 is going to be 80. So that gives me a whole number here, an integer, a whole number. Now, because n equals 80, I would know that if 319 is my 80th term, because 4 times 80 is 320, minus 1 is 319. If this were to give a fraction, so not a whole number, then we would know that he is not correct. But in this case, yes, he is correct, because we get n to be a whole number. So again, put down the number that they've given you equal to the expression, solve it as a linear equation, and see if you get a whole number as your answer. And that is our 5 minutes up.